Parents are their child's best advocate. Fathers play a pivotal role in encouraging and empowering kids in multiple ways. Role of a father figure has so many layers to it. He's a warrior, he's a protector who is not only shielding his child but is also committed towards his child. They're also the provider who not only do the providing in the front line, but they also do it in all possible ways, in all possible levels. They are the true encourager and the equiper for a child, and that's why we all call them our fab dads. Good evening, everyone. I'm Sushma Tripathy, joining you all from Mumbai, and on behalf of the entire team of the Spectrum Autism, I welcome you all to our 92nd Talk to the Expert series session, where we are going to discuss about the role of a father figure and parents advocacy. And to talk more about it, we have an amazing fab dad with us, Mr. Anurag Talukdar. Mr. Anurag is currently working as head and director of global operations support for LabCorp and is based out of Bangalore. He is actively involved in advocating the rights of autistic people and has been a vocal supporter of creating more awareness for autism. He's also a published poet and short story writer. He's married to Upasana, and their only child, Rian, is 14 years old and is on spectrum. I welcome you, sir, on behalf of the entire team today.
Thank you, Sushma. And it means a lot for me to be joining Spectrum Autism in the novel endeavor. And I'm glad to be collaborating in this effort. Thank you.
Yes, sir, and we have already spoken about how the journey of being a father is through the Fab Dad feature, where we had you and Ryan featured with us, but we want to know more about it. And I would like to directly jump into our first. The very first thing which I want to know from you is about Ryan. How you saw the early symptoms, and at what age you saw the screening is required, and how did you go about it?
So Rian, he was born in the year 2008. And a brief about myself, like I have been moving all across India ever since my days of education itself. So I have studied in Bangalore, then went back to my hometown. Then I think I have moved almost like 9 cities so far. So Rian was born in Guwahati, which incidentally is also my hometown. And when he was born, he was a little premature, nothing out of the blue. And I think he had jaundice. Well, those were a few difficult days, but like any other parents, we had great hopes that, he will continue a legacy for us, and which he still do, by the way. And I think he had a massive fever when he was around 1 year, 4 months in Hyderabad. We had moved to Hyderabad, and due to a false thermometer, the temperature was not captured correctly. So he got a fit, and he had to be rushed to a local hospital. And luckily, it had a pediatric ICU. And that is where, the first instance of he having a fit and high fever, it came as a shocker for us, but we didn't know that eventually it will be a precursor of major things to come ahead. Then we moved to Mumbai, and in Mumbai is when we first started. When he was around 2.5 years old, we will take him to pediatrician, and the pediatrician will say, look, he's showing some symptoms of autism. And honestly, I'm not from medical background. Okay, I have done my computer science graduation and I have done my MBA, and my wife is purely done her marketing BB and MBA. So we have nothing to do with medical sciences. So I'm like, what is autism? I have no idea, right? And we just brushed it aside. And I'm talking about the year 2010. Not much awareness for me, to be very honest. So first it was a denial, saying that no, nothing like it. What is it? Okay, so there's not even effort to know what is autism. Yes, there was a delayed speech coming for him. Okay, but it has been a family trait, like not with me, but what I have heard that my father also spoke a little late. So we were concerned but not alarmed, saying that maybe it's in the genes. We tried some strange, suggestions. What people started saying, do this, do that. We did everything, but when the speech refused to come, and we started noticing he will not give eye contact, he will not respond. When we call Rian, come here, he will not respond to it. That was little trigger point for us. Then slowly we started accepting, hey, maybe there's something wrong, but it was very hush hush. I never spoke to my wife, she never spoke to me. It was like complete denial. Then I think that is when, when there was a speech delay, we went to speech therapists. So we were in Mumbai, Powai, and there is a very good hospital called Hiranandani Hospital. So in Hiranandani Hospital, that is where we started the occupational therapy as well as speech therapy. And we noticed little improvement. So to be honest, he calmed down. He was extremely hyper. And that is where we started hearing that he is autistic. And that is when I started Googling, okay, like what is autism? And initially, as I said, denial becomes slight gradual acceptance, but that also came at a cost, because then, when he was 3.5 years old, all his peers are going to school, all my classmates, all my wife's classmates, they have children, they they are very talkative. So it came like a kind of a setback for us. And also because he was so hyper, we won't get many visitors and we'll not get invited. Okay, so that was a kind of, ostracization that we faced, social ostracization. It went on. Then when he was 5 years old, we actually visited a psychiatrist in Mumbai, and we got the evaluation that he is autistic, and it was written on paper. Well, that was, we knew he was autistic, so it didn't came as a shock to us, because already we knew it. Then we moved to Bangalore in the 2013, and in Bangalore we actually started his ABA. So ABA has been really, really helpful. Like before this, he's only been subjected to OT and speech therapy, but he was extremely hyper. And like I can't explain, he will not sit in one place. He'll be running all around. So it needed two of us to be all the time with him, and with me doing a regular job. In the meantime, my wife left her career to be with our child. So it was very straining, but we started ABA, and ABA yielded some benefit. Now, I don't know whether it is a ABA or is it because of function of the age itself. I don't know. So ABA started giving some benefit, and we changed schools. So I'll be honest, like any other parent, we were also very restless. We wanted instant results. We'll go to a school, specialist school. In 1 month, if we don't see improvement, we'll change it. So we had gone through that cycle. So we may have changed around 3-4 school in 6 months. Gradually, like we settled down. We said, okay, miracle is not going to happen. We have to settle down. And I think if we have parents who have recently diagnosed the child is autistic, it is important that no, they understand that miracles don't happen. You have to sustain it, right? You sustain the effort. So jumping one school to another is only detrimental to the child, because the child again has to go through the entire cycle of assimilating to a new setup. So I think 2016 he went to a slow learners school. He stayed there for 1 year, but they refused to take him the next cycle, because my child was not a slow learner. He's still not a slow learner. He's autistic. So it was a little difficult to accept, but life goes on. And after that, we became mature. Since then, he's been going to a specialist school. And in between, we moved to Hyderabad. But since my child is accustomed to his school in Bangalore, so he missed this school. So we had to come back again to Bangalore. And so far, he's not under any medication. So when he was very young, till the age of 5, we used to give him a tablet. Okay, I know the brand name, but I'll not advocate any brand here. So it is just to avoid any fits coming into when he had fever. So that is the only medication he had been given. And well, we had gone through the entire cycle. We did everything whatever was told by anyone else. Do this, do that. We have done that. I think last 6-7 years, I think we have become much more stable. We only go with whatever scientifically is explainable. And we had gone through our own hopes and despairs. Now we have accepted, like, this is our child, this is what he will be. And whatever I am currently doing, I think the pivot is that he will grow up to be an autistic adult. And see, as it's a spectrum, every child has a different trajectory. My child is on the lower side of the spectrum. That means he is not a autistic genius, right? So he's non-verbal. So I'm trying to make sure that I play my part and I create more awareness in the society, that what is autism, the grades of autism, and what will happen to these children when they grow up, what will happen to these autistic adults when the parents are no more. So that is what I have been waging a small battle of my own. And so far I have found like-minded people, like the Spectrum Autism group, that has really helped me. So thank you for that.
Uh, you know, so I would say when you share that, when the early signs when it appeared, like, started from the fever, it's a very small sign of getting a fever and, high fever, which is very much common. And it is a journey in itself, where the acceptance came, with a different trajectory. And then you had your own battle of denial and acceptance, which went on for a very long time. And I think, through these talk to the experts, we have heard so many parents, when they share their journey, not two journeys are same, but it also talks about how broad that acceptance and the denial, factor is also. And everybody takes their own time eventually, and it is all, it is absolutely okay as far as you're reaching out to more and more people in terms of getting help, getting, getting diagnosed, getting a, structured way of nurturing your child. And like you mentioned that Upasana ma'am left her job, if I'm not wrong, right? You are also, she was working, you were working, and you had a child with you. If you see now, over the years, as a father figure, if I want to quote it, how you have seen that, what is the role of a father figure in parenting, and how does it impacts everything around the child?
I think the answer is very simple. I think father figure, when I say father figure, I mean it can be a biological father or anyone closer to that. It can be a stepfather, it can be a grandfather, it can be uncle, right? So we all need a father figure when we are growing up, right? So we find it eventually, even if like in some cases the father may not be there for whatever reason, the child will always try to find a father figure. So a father figure is essential, whether it's a neurotypical child or a child in the spectrum. So there is a reason behind it, and I'll explain why it is so important. Now I have a certain observation here. Many a times the mothers take the battle of autism on their own, and it's very noble on their part. I think absolutely fine. Okay, mothers being more emotionally attached to a child, I think they have all the rights, but I think they have to involve the dads also. Like, we are also equally concerned, right? And I think there's a great initiative by Spectrum Autism called Fab Dad series. I really loved it. Okay, I am just one of many dads who are passionately fighting this. Okay, so I think dads play a vital role, just like a neurotypical child. Okay, a neurotypical child, a father is a role model. So is in a child in the spectrum. Now I know spectrum is a huge, right? You can be having a autistic genius. That's a different thing. My son Rian is a lower side, but he still looks up to me. I'll give an example. Like I do simple carpentry works of my own. Like, I don't rely on the carpenter. Simple things. If chair is broken, I can do it my own. So I have my own set, a hammer, a drilling machine, everything. So he had seen me, hammering a nail a couple of days. And then he started picking up the hammer. It is little, I was a little afraid what he's going to do it. He didn't break anything, but that is a small observation that he observes what I'm doing. And so we actually set a foundation. A father, whatever profession he has, that has a direct influence on the child. Like my father, he was in government service, but he was a author. I am into corporate world, not in government service. Yet I have taken it forward. I have been writing books. So I think invariably fathers do influence. The other thing is that life skills. I think moms do teach life skills in their own way. Fathers also teach life skills in their own way. Like when I fix a light bulb, okay, my son will be observing, though I don't allow him to do that. But had it been a neurotypical child, probably I could have taught him, this is how you replace a light. This is how you probably repair a car, basic car problem troubleshooting. I'm not saying that a mom cannot do it. Mom can do it, but this like a teamwork, right? So in the end, I don't differentiate between mom and a dad. In the end, it's a team effort, and both complement each other. So I think rather than having a different thought process, mom and dad, I think both are equal. Both should be equally involved, and I think a healthy family is one where both the father and mother are taking equal responsibilities. I know it's easier for me to say it, but I think they have to decide. Every family will have a different equation. Like most of the times I'll be working from home, but I can't spare time for my child because I have office obligations. Gradually my son has accepted it, so now most of the daytime he will be with his mom, but evening I think 1 hour give it to him. Like either I will try to talk. He can't have a conversation like you and me, but at least whatever I can do, and he will try to listen to the same music that I listen. Like I am like born in early 80s, right? So I listen to the 90s music. My son also listens to it, so it comes that way. So in the end, I think father figure is very important, because you become a role model. You can teach them life skill. You can also discipline them. Now this is very important. As a parent, a mom can be disciplinarian, can be, but the main role of a mother is a nourisher, when you nourish the child. So it's like you have to balance it both the way. Can a mother do it? Yes, she can. But if you can balance it out, like when the mother is tough, the father goes soft, and when the father is tough, mother goes soft. So that way, child always knows there's someone protecting him. And it's important in autistic child, because they are extra sensitive, unlike neurotypical child. Neurotypical child can still understand. A 8-year-old, 9-year-old neurotypical child will understand, hey, I have done some mistake.
Yeah.
I will get the scolding. But an autistic child may not understand it. So that's why, when the mother is angry, the father has to protect, and vice versa. So in the end, I think role of a father figure cannot be underestimated. Okay. Be it a biological father or anyone in that place. It's very, very important to get involved, give support to the child, and give support to the mother. I think many a times we talk about the child, but what about the parents themselves? They also need support that way. So that's another area that I have been actively involved in. Thanks.
Yeah, wonderfully put. You have explained this. I guess what you have been advocating here is, giving that hands-on experience to your child, irrespective of, whether you're a father figure or whether you're a mother. The child learns directly, and, they catch it when they see their parents doing it. And that also, comes with a responsibility, because whatever rightly we are doing, they would capture that also, and vice versa. So I guess, parenting is always, it's a two-way thing. It has never been a one-way thing. And one of our viewer, Ranjana Panch, she says, I completely agree with Anurag. Both have an equal role to play, and even we all advocate that and agree to that. And this also brings me to one of the most thought about questions right now is, you will see a lot of new parents who have just discovered that their child is on spectrum. And as you mentioned that you were not accepting it once, and then you had your own insecurities about it, you had your own fears, anxieties, everything, and then slowly the acceptance came. And then there is like I mentioned, remember you said it's like a no shortcut thing. You become impatient, you're like nahi ek din mein result chahiye. So what is that message you want to give to such parents who have just came to know that their child is on spectrum?
I think I can speak a lot on that, right? So one thing, I would like to complicate the answer. Sorry about it. Okay. So this is a very social and psychological answer I'll give you. And I think culture will come into play here. Like when I say Asian culture, you take all the Asian country, okay? In these Asian countries, parents always have high expectation of the child, not limited to India, okay? Almost all the Asian countries. Parents have high expectation of the child. They want to fulfill everything that they could not through their child. Okay. I'm not here to say it's good or right or bad. No. I'm just saying it's a known phenomena, right? Whereas if you go to Western country, I think parents raise their kids, give everything, but once they have reached their adulthood, that's it. I think the child has to fend for himself. in Asian countries, like even I am 40s now, okay, my mother still treats me like a kid, right? And so this is something that, we have to understand as I go along with answering this question. So first thing is that, yes, when the child is diagnosed as autistic, that is a very, very, most difficult phase in any parent's life or any human's life. Like, I have been doing my PhD, which I should have completed. I have not so far. I'm doing actually in work-life balance of parents having autistic child. So I have read a lot of literature on autism and its impact on family. And one thing which studies over and over say that, and there is no other two thoughts about it. Moment a child is diagnosed as autistic, it takes a toll on the entire family, not just on the parents, on the siblings also. So this is where, I think people has to be aware that, yes, this is something irreversible. If a child has been declared autistic, next visit it cannot be, oh, he's not autistic. It's not going to happen. Okay, immediately it will not happen. Now, we have to understand is that autism is a spectrum. You have to first understand where the child lies. If the child is on the higher side, which we call higher functional autism, I think that's fair enough. I think in the long run, we have seen children becoming almost normal. Now, let me tell you one thing. I also had traits of autism when I was young. And that time I didn't know it. But once I started, doing research and doing my own PhD, and I started talking to my mom, and it was quite obvious that I also had those traits. But because I was on the higher side of autism, I think now less the symptoms have disappeared. So all is not lost. The hopes are not lost. Even we have seen that with sustained intervention, and early intervention is the key. If we can get proper intervention, proper diagnosis, and as early as possible, there are higher chances of the intensity of the autism coming down. Now, please do not accept instant miracles. Those people get fleeced very badly. There are thousands of people all awaiting to make money out of you by making fool out of you. Please do not do not fall into trap of all this. Go with only scientifically evaluated results. Okay, there are many communities like Spectrum Autism, one such community. There are so many across India, and I'm sure every country has their own that parent support group. Reach out to them. You are not alone in that discussion. If your child has been diagnosed as autistic, don't be alarmed. Like, I have the numbers from Center for Disease Control in the year, I think, mid 2000s, like I think it's 2010. One in every, I think, 57 or 60, one in every 60 child in USA was autistic. The number is actually decreasing less, more and more. When I say decrease, it's a bad thing. It's like earlier it was 1 in 80, now it's 1 in 60, probably will come to 1 to 50. Why it's happening? Maybe because diagnostic has changed, the yardsticks have changed, or maybe there is something happening which we don't know. But whatever it is, you are not alone. Okay, my only suggestion is that don't panic, but don't accept any miracles. Miracles only happen in movies. Life is not a movie. So reach out to some support groups. Early intervention is the key, and be there as a family together, because in the end, please be aware of one thing. If a higher power has given you a child with autism, okay, it means you have to stay strong. It means you will have to face some consequences. Like, very rarely you will find that you'll have same set of friends. No, you'll lose many friends because they will say, oh, there's an autistic child, will not go there. Oh, there's an autistic child, will not invite them. It's inevitable. Accept it. Those were never your true friends. True friends will always stick by you. I am very, very fortunate, and I'm becoming very emotional here, that all my classmates have stuck to me. And I can take the name, but I'll not. Okay. But all my classmates from my Kindle and Arangi, they have stuck with me so far. And whereas all my, acquaintances, they have left me, but those my classmates are always there. So I think this is something that we all go through a journey. And the bottom line is that don't fall into trap of those quacks. There are thousands of them. They will take your money and disappear. So that's the final message I'll give.
Yeah, I think it is always a better way that step back a bit and analyze and then step forward. I think that helps a lot, to understand where, when, and what is required. Uh, we have been talking, for the last couple of minutes about role of a father figure, how parenting is, how the parenting thing is important for a child, and etc., etc. But there is one small thing which I want to know from you, as a parent, what do you think? How important is self care?
Oh, yeah, I think brilliant question. I think raising any child, even neurotypical child, can be a stress. Okay, I know I was quite a difficult child. I don't know how my parents survived. And raising a child with autism can be seriously, challenging, both physically and emotionally. What I do get stressed. And first of all, I'll be very honest, having a autistic child can take a toll in the marriage also, because I think the child gets all the attention and the partners feel we are not giving time to each other. It's a cycle that they have to understand, and it's important that they make time for each other. That's one. The other thing is that for the mother or the father as a person, they need to find a passion and pursue it. Like I have three passion and I have become more focused in them ever since I understood that my child is on the spectrum. One is which I actually direct, thing which I've continuing music. I sing. Okay. But I'm not singing. I'm not a great singer, but yeah, I sing for myself. I play guitar, so I do it nowadays. Other thing, I write. Okay, I have published books. I'm still publishing a book. Okay, and the other thing which I found the passion is what can I do for children with autism and parents with autistic children. So this is where I'm currently talking to you. So these are three passions that I have developed, and it has given me a new network. So I can actually talk to different set of people, understand their perspective. So it gives me happiness, and that gives me more energy to focus with the child. So yeah, it's very important to find your own passion. It can be anything. Okay, it can be a cooking class, it can be learning taekwondo. Nothing is stopping you. Go ahead and enjoy, make time for yourself. And last thing I'll say, autistic child doesn't mean that the marriage has to break down. And I have seen so many cases in my own friend circle that marriage are getting a toll out of it. I think that is where both parents have to sit down and discuss. In the end, it has to be a team always.
Yes, I think caring about yourself helps you to again go out there and be there available for your family, for your child, for for the community also, because if you're not taking care of ourselves, how would we take care of others? And speaking of what you're saying, I would like to tell our viewers, you will be there with us in our next musical extravaganza, which is going to happen soon, and we'll be all ears to your wonderful singing. And here I have a comment message from our viewer. Shiraz Saini says, yes, being together as a strong family is very, very important. I think, yeah, and we would all, agree to this. Sir, I would also want to know from you that as you have been actively advocating about autism and, working toward creating awareness about it, what are the changes you wish to see in the society in terms of awareness and inclusion?
I think there are, when we talk about inclusion, there are two sets of inclusion. One is inclusion of people with disability, and disability of two types. One is physical disability. I think in that we are seeing so many changes. Like nowadays, if you go to airport or mall or any other public places, if you are on wheelchair, we have advocates. Like I am part of that advocacy group who actually say that can we get a wheelchair access? Okay, like in airport, if you go and say, "Hey, I'm not well, so I would rather I can't walk," they'll make sure that you have a wheelchair. So those are about people with physical disability. What about people on with autism? Okay, I think there we have to come a long way. Like many of the autistic children or autistic adults, they have sensory problem. They cannot bear loud music. But when you go to a mall and there's loud music going on, it's quite disturbing for them. Now, whom do I go and say in a mall that, hey, please reduce the music, it's affecting my child? I really don't know. Like that kind of, maturity has to come through. And it is not just in India, anywhere else. because so far the world is built for neurotypicals. Okay, but this is where we have to go and take the advocacy next level, saying that what are the typical problems we face, common problems uh, with people with autism, sensitivity to any sensory issues like too much noise around. What can we do we have any mechanism to address it? The other thing can be, now I think we have been talking about a lot, like when you talk about school setup. Now which school setup, like if I send my child to children with normal neurotypical children to school, what special features that school should have by default to accommodate such children? Now there's a debate going on whether it should be inclusive or a separate school. That's a different debate altogether. But what extra effort a normal school is making to make sure that a child with moderate to high autism is able to sustain the education there? I am aware of the fact that a child with intense autism, like my child in the lower side, he cannot go on a normal school. There's a different side. But let's say a child with a moderate level of autism, can he survive in an environment where other normal children are going? So those are the changes we have to make. And when I say, because I'm more passionate towards autism, but the world is not limited to it, we have to make it more inclusive to any disability.
Yes, rightly said. So, here we have a lot of messages from our viewers, and Mutumari is here. She says, "Happy to hear another Fab Dad sharing his experience." And few weeks back we had Mutumari Selvakumar and Avnish sharing their parenthood journey and the whole how they have been nurturing Avnish, who is a maths wizard. Uh, Also, again, we have one more comment here, which I would like to read out. Shiraz Saini says, what happens to the second child which when one is on the spectrum, the second child either gets less attention or then excessive because you want to overcompensate. I think it speaks volumes about how balancing the whole parenting thing is so crucial. Whether you have a single child or you have siblings. So yes, point noted. Regarding the awareness and inclusion, how it can be structured and put constructively in the community so that more and more people are aware about it. And this brings to our last question, and which is not a question, which I would like to know from you. What is your message to the community, to our viewers who are watching now and will watch later?
I think I assume most of the viewers will be parents or maybe family members with autistic children or autistic adults. I think we have to stand together here. It doesn't matter where we are living, doesn't matter which state, which city we are in. And I think globally we all have to unite. And especially if we're in India, we are still in the nascent stage of autism awareness. There are many questions that remain unanswered, like what will happen to our children once we leave this earth? There's no answer. And I think that is where we have to reach out to government. And honestly, this will take a long time. I have seen a lot of changes in the government's approach towards autism, but the rate at which we need the changes, I think it has to be even faster. And I think we have to become advocates. We have to become the change agents ourselves. So if we want to drive change, we have to be the agent for that. We have to be more vocal. We have to be more assertive in asking for what is right for our children. I think the most important thing is that, which is actually giving me quite a sleepless nights for a lot many years now. What will happen once I leave this world? And I'm not going to live forever. And in India, there is no answer as of now. So that is one thing that I'm really worried about. And apart from worrying, I'm also working in that side also to I've been quite vocal. I'm reaching out to few government agencies saying that what can we do? And COVID came at a very wrong time. I think I had made some progress, and I was talking about, having a kind of a transition home where we can start sending children when they are in the late teen, and how can they can transition into adulthood, and probably they can spend more and more time in an autistic home, so that by the time when they are in the 20s, they can at least stay a little away from the parents. And it's up to parents to decide whether they want to retain the child with them or let the child stay in a separate home. Because in the end, we all know autistic children. When I say autistic, I'm talking about children at the higher end of autism spectrum. They are bound by habit. So if they are always attached to their mom or dad, and one find their mom and dad are not there, I think it can be catastrophic. So we'll have to take a conscious call. Maybe it's a different discussion. It's a long discussion. I'll not go in detail of that. But those are something that discussions that I'm taking with concerned authorities, saying that what can we do? And that had been my area of research, saying that how to transition and how to get people ready for the people who are at the 20s, young children who are at the 20s, and parents are getting older. So how you deal with them? So those are a few things which, and remember, you might be wondering, the viewers, that hey, my child is just 2 years old, why I should be bothered? You should be, because your child will grow up to be 20 very soon. It's just a matter of 18 days. And believe me, as a parent, 18 years just glows in the blink of an eye. So that's my message.
I think that is what we have been striving for, to create a more inclusive society, and the inclusion means in each and every way, so that the very question that what after me has a more concrete answer. We have a question from our viewers, and here is Mutamari, who wants to know, how do you manage your work life, the work life balance, being a special parent, like, your working hours and your quality time spending with your child? How do you balance that?
I still have 24 hours. So I have cut down on my any extra, like I had a lot of friends, and as I've mentioned earlier, many of the friends have left me out of their circle, or I have left them out. And it was like, they ostracized me basically when they understood that, yeah, this guy has autistic child. So I have lost many friends, and whatever friends now I have, it's a very limited friend circle. So that's one way I'm saving, my time. So my weekends are mostly with my wife and my kid, mostly. I do visit my mom. She stays alone. I've lost my father a couple of years ago. So in the weekend, I probably spend time writing or talking to my son, and probably I take him to a short ride. I don't go a long drive, because very short, within Bangalore only. That's it. So I think it's most about, it's 24 hours. I think 10 hours is for my office. And then I spend some time for my passion. Like I said, I love to write. I read a lot. That takes a lot of time. And I think music is also there, and taking out the things which are unnecessarily. Like earlier I used to go, I'll be very honest, okay, when I was young, I had a party, I was a party animal, I'll go out. Those things are gone now, right? So those extra hours is that I have put for my meaningful conversation with my family, and that has helped. And I think credit should go to my wife also, because we don't have any domestic help, and it's only her. She's managing everything. So why should I take all the credit? I think I have to give the credit to her also. So thank you. I know she's not listening to it, but if she ever listens it, maybe she will like it.
No, I think this is so wonderful, giving that credit to, your better half, your spouse. I remember one of the Dr. Expert series we had, Somnarayan, so even he spoke in length how, his wife, she left the job, and she was there with their daughter, Aditi. And it also speaks about how, you filtering out what is more important right now. And but there is no harm being going to party and having a big friend circle, because everything comes with age and phase. But right now, like, I'm happy to see that you are prioritizing the self-care regime also. You're giving your work also that much time, and then you are also spending time with your family. The balance, I think, eventually comes. You keep on shifting the gears, and sometimes the work is more, sometimes the time spent is less, but at least prioritizing, I think what you have been doing is wonderful. Prioritizing it to make so much sense. Mutumari says, thank you so much for answering the question. Our children made us understand who are our real friends.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think that is the best part, when you learn through your kids, when they teach you some life lessons in the quest of we teaching them, the entire life lessons. So thank you so much, sir, for giving your valuable time and sharing your views and your experiences in depth. I'm sure our viewers who will be watching us now and later have a lot to take away here, in terms of parenting, in terms of role of a father figure, and being vocal and being advocating about how the journey has been and what were the failures and what everything is raw, nothing is being conceptualized and created. So thank you so much for being you. And to our viewers, I would like to request you that please do join the inclusion pledge, share with us, tag your buddies and ask them to join the tribe. It takes a 6 second of yours to record a video and say, I so and so take the pledge to be inclusive and accept the unique. Let us reach out to more and more hearts and make it a million hearts. Thank you to everybody who has been our biggest supporter throughout our journey from the day we started this platform. And today we are having the 92nd session with you. We'll be, all ears to you, as I said, in the musical extravaganza. We'll be waiting to hear from you and getting more and more, insight about your journey, as we will be following you through your journey. And let us march together and keep working on creating an inclusive, community. And on that note, I would like to thank everybody for joining today and see you all in our next Talk to Expert series. Good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks.